You guessed it, I'm that incredibly handsome young hero. The one and only Dark Schneider.
Pause this series for one damn minute. Aloha. Welcome to Cyntillating Reviews, and tonight we will be reviewing Netflix series Bastard, Heavy Metal Dark Fantasy. Now the title is no exaggeration either. Almost every single episode you hear the title and the name Bastard, Bastard, Bastard. And it actually fits to certain circumstances for this. Be forewarned, I am going to try to limit myself, but I'll try to limit myself, but there's going to be a little bit of talk of sex into this show. And spoiler warnings is now in effect. Bastard Heavy Metal Dark Fantasy has kind of, in a way, a basic storyline. The kingdom of Metallicana. Gen Xers, if you hear this, think about exactly what I just said. I am not missaying this. Metallicana. The kingdom of Metallicana is under attack by 4 Lords of Havoc, and it's up to a wizard by the name of Dark Schneider to come and save the kingdom and making sure it doesn't get destroyed by the 4 Lords of Havoc, which includes a Ninja Master Gara, a Deadly Thunder Empress named Nia Arches, a cold person by the name of Kalsu, and an anemic Dark Priest Abigail. Where exactly can I start with this show? Immediately forewarned myself, it said TVMA. And with a title like Bastard Heavy Metal Dark Fantasy, I'm thinking, okay, it may have a little bit of nudity. It's definitely going to have a lot of blood, a lot of violence, strong language. The hell? It's not the reason why it was listed MA. I'll tell you exactly why it was listed MA. It was listed MA for sexual nudity, and sex. No joke. That is exactly why this was MA. I think it would still be on the TVMA rating for like the blood and just a little bit of the language, but no. Okay, as soon as we realize that there's going to be sex and sexual nudity involved, we have to default to MA. And they are not shy either when it comes to their nudity and their sexual content. Bastard Heavy Metal Dark Fantasy is not shy about that at all. What kind of scares me the most, if you guys have seen my first episode impression, is the fact that the character Dark Schneider is almost like an equivalent of a very like raunchy playboy bastard of Inuyasha. And the relationship between Dark Schneider and Yoko reminds me so much of Inuyasha and Kagome. Only this time, we're not into the feudal era. This is, according to this story, it's modern era. And it had some funny parts that did remind me of Inuyasha, don't get me wrong. But this guy is such a playboy-ish kind of character. And what strikes me as, I feel so bad for Yoko, one of the main characters, is the truth that they said that she cannot marry. No joke. That is exactly what they said. She cannot marry. She can only remain as such because there is a child that she is like becoming guardian to by the name of Lushun. Anyways though, this little kid, he is like a reincarnation of a Dark Schneider, and Dark Schneider is sealed away within this boy. And in order for Dark Schneider to be released, Ushu has to be kissed by a virgin. No joke, that is exactly what they said. And in order for Dark Schneider to go back, he has to be kissed again by a virgin. Yeah! And As I mentioned earlier, I said, do you guys remember Food Wars when the characters ate Soma's food for the very first time? Okay, imagine that, but 10 times worse. But if we can go ahead and minus like the sex and the sexual content, it did have a good story to it. There were a couple of times where I did binge watch episode 1, 2, and the first half of 3, and I said, okay, I like it. I like kind of what we're doing. I'll have to get used to kind of like this style genre because it's my least favorite style, but hey, I can totally do it. And then the MA kicks in. And part of me just stops because it's so uncomfortable for me. But I like the story, so I said, okay, if I can ignore this, then let's move on with the story. So if you guys can ignore like the sexual stuff going on, Bastard Heavy Metal Dark Fantasy really did have a great story to it. And the producers say, you know, the names are all coincidence, but they did have names of places, as I said, in the kingdom of Metallicana. There is a metal band within the 70s and 80s of the name of Metallica, and I believe there is also a character by the name of Osborne. I think there was one named Osborne. There was one later, I believe, by the name of Bon Jovi. So that was pretty good. I did like a little bit of the hints there. And when I saw the title, Bastard Heavy Metal Dark Fantasy, and after finishing the second episode, I was waiting for somebody to put in a Meatloaf joke. Meatloaf, the rock opera singer guy, not Meatloaf the food. But I did not see it, and that made me very, very disappointed. Fun fact, Bastard Heavy Metal Dark Fantasy, previously Bastard was produced as a manga, and then around 1992-1993, it was released into a six episode OVA, and the OVA was released in North America a couple years later in 1998. The Netflix adaptation was not the very first adaptation. Bastard the manga was written by Kazushi Hagiwara, sorry if I said that name wrong, and it was published by Shueisha, and the English publisher for Bastard was Viz Media. It was imprinted to Jump Comics from 1988 to 1989, and then it had a break from until 1997 to 2000 in the show and the weekly show and Jumps. And then it was placed again in Ultra Jump in 2000 to 2010 with 27 volumes. The future of Bastard Heavy Metal Dark Fantasy is there's obviously going to be another season. Don't fool us with that ending, okay? What we saw in that old woman's, like, crystal ball, it did happen, but I think it happened in a different way we all thought it was going to be. Bastard Heavy Metal Dark Fantasy, I would have to give maybe a 3.5 out of 5. Do not get me wrong. I like the story. I like the characters. I like the relationship. The only reason why I bumped the score down was the sexual content. Dark Schneider is like a playboy. He is a player. He builds his own harem-ish according to Arshis Ney. And I don't know, characters like that just kind of really put me down. And the dialogue that comes out of this guy's mouth, he really is a bastard. But when the second season comes, if I was able to muster up the first season, surely I can muster up the second season. Again, it's more so that we just have to kind of like ignore the reason why it got MA. But if you guys are to anything like this dark drama, action, adventure, and a lot of sexual innuendos and sex content, feel free to jump in it. Thank you guys so much for stopping in at Cyntillating Reviews. What did you guys think of Bastard Heavy Metal Dark Fantasy? Let me know your thoughts down below. Like this video, subscribe to Cyntillating Reviews, help me make it grow. I want to see something come out of this. If you want to be notified for personal videos or all my content, make sure you click that bell down below. I also have a Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter where I'll post updates and keep tabs of upcoming content. As of this recording now, I am at 230 subscribers, so thank you guys so much. I really truly do want to see where Cyntillating reviews go. If I make 250 subscribers, I will review and possibly react if I am allowed to When Blackbirds Fly, written and produced by Jimmy Screamer Claus, who is responsible for When the Dead Go to Die. And that was Cyntillating Review's very first video on YouTube. See you later and have another day. Bye!